What's up guys, welcome to my channel, and I talk about a lot of things on my channel, but today I'm going to be talking about Gojo Satoru's ability or course technique, Limitless. Limitless is a very unique course ability, and to me I don't feel it's more of a physical ability but an esoteric one. It lets him manipulate space on an atomic level, which is cool. But the truth is, I think most fans of Jujutsu Kaisen and Gojo Satoru don't really understand what that means. They just know he has an OP ability. But I think even I didn't understand it when the author Gege Akutami used the whole Achilles and the tortoise paradox explanation. I still don't get it. I'm not good at physics, but those who are good at physics may be able to explain the whole infinite and fine. Okay, let me just stop there. But I think I have a good grasp of it after literally reading about it and listening to what other content creators have spoken about it. And this is my deduction. I'm not sure if I'm correct, but I think to a certain degree I am correct on this. Limitless basically manifests itself in different ways, and the base form in which it manifests itself as is infinity. And when you hear infinity, it's basically the measurements for space, while eternity is the measurements for time. And infinity basically is something that goes on forever. And that's something I picked up on. Gojo's ability creates an infinity between him and his opponent, meaning you will never be able to touch him. But that can be a barrier. But that's the thing, it's not a barrier. And mind you, his ability works on an atomic scale. So for me, when deducing what that ability could actually be, what I've come up with is the fact that Gojo literally creates a universal level scale space between him and his opponent. But due to the fact it's on an atomic scale, you will not notice it. But between him and you, there is a universe worth of space. Just imagine if it takes for a human being from point A of the universe to point B of the universe, it takes you 300 million light years. That means before you can touch Gojo's skin or flesh, you literally need to take up to that amount of years. And mind you, there is no character in Jujutsu Kaisen that can move at the speed of light. Meaning it's basically beyond impossible to touch him, no matter how powerful or how strong you are, unless you have the ability to warp reality, nullify his ability, or Gojo basically lets you touch him, or maybe a cost tool that can bypass that ability. That makes Gojo a true threat, because no one can literally touch him, no matter the amount of ability you use. It will never meet him. It will literally never touch him. And also, his ability, and that's how you know that his ability doesn't actually stop time or stop you in a track. It's actually traveling, but it's just that it will never reach him because the infinite space between him and you is basically that of a universe. And I noticed that in his domain expansion. His domain expansion, the interiors of his domain expansion looks like the cosmos itself. So that means he literally I don't know, I don't want to say he creates it, but I think that's how esoteric the nature of his abilities are. It's not something you can literally completely explain. I think that's one of the best explanation I can use to describe that. So we are going to the next one, which is blue, which is another way in which Gojo Satoru manifests his limitless technique, and it's basically the reinforced form of limitless, and this is by him amplifying limitless and his curse energy to the point it creates an actual vacuum. And for those who don't know what vacuum is basically an emptiness. We can say in space, or even basically like a sort of black hole. He creates an actual ripple in space, and when he does this, due to the nature of how anomalistic the ability is, the world tries to order itself by filling up that space, which then pulls in matter from around him, like literally like the way magnets attract something to itself. So it pulls in everything within his vicinity to that place where there is a vacuum, destroying and crushing and everything within there. I think that's one of the ways I can explain blue. Then we go to red. Red is basically the opposite, in which it repels everything around him, or in a designated location which he wants. He uses it to push out things and destroy basically everything. I can say it's similar to Almighty Push. I think that's a very good explanation, and why blue is similar to Universal Pull in a way, but I would say it's more destructive. When we get to see it in the anime, we will know which is more destructive. If blue is as destructive as if blue is as destructive as Universal Pull or not. Also, we will talk about purple. Purple is basically him mixing both blue and red together to create an actual singularity in space, which basically erases everything that comes into contact with it. It's just basically a much more OP version of blue and red at the same time. It literally erases everything from existence. And when you look at Gojo's Satoru's domain expansion, Unlimited Void, it's basically like emptiness, and not just any emptiness. It causes, I think I feel he manipulates the mechanics of the universe, literally pouring in all the data, all the stimuli, all the whole information the universe has to offer into your mind all at once. Basically, it will literally make you go blank, and I'm definitely sure if Gojo had left Jogo there for a while, his brain would have definitely exploded. And I think that's basically the best way to explain his domain expansion. When you actually see in the interiors of his domain expansion, you notice something, that it has this cosmos-like appearance, and I think that's how that's how I can explain the fact that he creates a universe in between you and him. Also, I love to talk on the six eyes. And I think what the six eyes literally does is that it literally lets Gojo Satoru manipulate his curse energy in such a way he doesn't use unnecessary amount of curse energy. Gojo Satoru has a very large amount of curse energy, second to only Yuta. Despite the fact that he has such a large amount, he doesn't really use so much. Okay, let me use an anime for example. Just imagine Naruto, for instance. Naruto, we all know the Jinchurikis have large amounts of chakra, but the truth is, despite the fact that they have a large amount of chakra, it can actually finish, as we've seen Kurama being gone, despite the fact he's a beast that is basically pure chakra. Gojo is more advantaged. To me, I'll say Gojo is more advantaged than even a tailed beast, in the sense that even if he's going to use a very powerful life-threatening technique, similar to how Pain's planetary devastation and Almighty Push drained him significantly, if it was Gojo using those abilities, he literally will not lose. I'm not even sure he will lose up to 1% of his curse energy. So guys, thanks for watching, and I hope I was able to explain it to you. And if you like my content, please subscribe, put on your notification bell, and I'm going to be doing more on things like this, anime, manhwa, manga, basically those kind of things. Thank you very much.